Good afternoon, everybody. Please be seated. Thank you to our Chief Deputy of the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, Rhonda Anderson, for announcing court today, as always. My name is Brendan Murphy. I have the honor of serving as the Chief Magistrate Judge here in Cobb County. And on behalf of the 90 men and women that make up our People's Court, I welcome you here today. I'd like to give special greetings to our elected officials and judges. And so if you're an elected official or judge, would you please stand and test my knowledge of your name? Well, we have our clerk of the State Court of Cobb County and, of course, our alum, Tanisha Phillips. And if you'd hold your applause for the end, we have Judge Quinn Casper of the Magistrate Court, our Chief Judge of the Probate Court, Kelly Wall. We have our Superior Court Judge, Kelly Hill, our County Commissioner, my Commissioner in my area, Commissioner Joanne Burrell, Magistrate Judge Rona Woodruff, Senior Magistrate, the Love Judge, Don Hicks. We've got our former Solicitor General and Magistrate Judge, and my former boss, Barry Morgan. We've got the South Georgia Kid, Judge Lewis Feingold, Sunday morning specialist for the warrant desk. We've got Judge John Strauss of our Magistrate Court. We have Judge Sonia Brown of the Superior Court, Judge Tara Riddle of the Probate Court, Judge Boone from our Magistrate Court, Judge Jennifer Inman of our Magistrate Court, Judge Mallory Lumpkin-Dawson of our Magistrate Court, and Judge Norman Barnett. Thank you. If you could be seated. And of course, my old trial partner who never follows any directions. Judge Jarrett, that's right, Judge Jarrett Usher of the State Court of Cobb County. Thank you for being here as well. All right. And we would have to give special greetings, of course, to our Magistrate Court family. We have our Clerk of Court, Ann Gordon, is here working, our Court Administrator, Jennifer Lear, and then all of our supervisors and staff members. If you could please rise so we could acknowledge you as well. Well, this is a very special day. It's always a special day when we get to welcome new folks to our Magistrate Court family, and these are two extremely fine people that I'm excited to introduce to you. But let's get started with meeting some of the members of their family. So, Judge, we've got members of your family to start with the pledge. So let's have Morgan, Claire, and Victoria to come up, and if we could all rise, and they will join us by leading in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, in order to introduce Judge Ward, we're going to have the Clerk of State Court, Tanisha Phillips, come up. And before we do that, I just wanted to say a couple of words myself as well. When you look at Judge Ward's biography, you might say, and her career, her very vast career, you might say, what is she doing as a criminal judge? Because the primary responsibility for our new judges is going to be criminal. And her vast experience is more on the civil side. And what I know about her that makes her a perfect fit for this position is two things. Number one, a lifelong learner. Lifelong learner that she wants to know, she wants to get it right, she wants to learn about this area of the law, follow the law, and do a good job. And that's paramount. And number two is a servant's heart. When I met her, it was first at one of our pop-up clinics. We have these events. Tanisha and I sponsor these events in the community where we harness lawyers to volunteer their time on a Saturday morning to members of our community that can't afford their own attorney. And she just jumped right in, even though her practice area wasn't exactly in demand. But nonetheless, jumped right in to assist people in need in any way possible. And that's what this place is all about, following the law, getting it right. We don't all know everything, learning and serving the public. Now, I must say the only concern I had about appointing her to this position is I think we're now even with gators and dogs on this court. And I'm a little nervous about that, but I like to say, Commissioner, that just shows how fair and impartial I am. So I like to think this appointment's just showing off a little bit. So with that, we welcome you, and I welcome our Clerk of the State Court, Tanisha, to introduce you further.
Good afternoon. It is my joy and honor to introduce my dear soror, Natalie Ward. Natalie has dedicated her life to service, caring for patients as a nurse, advocating for both corporate and pro bono clients as an attorney, and giving her time and talents to the community through organizations and personal projects that change lives. Her Jamaican heritage, faith, and values have shaped her into someone who treats every person with dignity and respect. She listens before she speaks, seeks to understand before deciding, and approaches the law with intelligence, dedication, and a deep commitment to service. Today, she brings wisdom, grace, and unwavering dedication to her new role as Magistrate Judge for the people of Cobb County. Please join me in celebrating and welcoming Magistrate Judge Natalie Ward.
All right, we're gonna do the uh-huh version where I get to say all the words and you say uh-huh, or I so swear, or yes, or whatever, and if you don't, then you have to talk to Brendan. Okay.
Not yet.
Do you swear or affirm that you will duly and faithfully perform all of the duties required of you as a magistrate judge of Cobb County? Do you further solemnly swear or affirm that you are not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof? That you are not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state or any foreign state which you are prohibited from holding by the laws of the state of Georgia, and that you are otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia, and that you will support the constitutions of the United States and of this state, and that you have been a resident of this county for the time required by the Constitution and the laws of this state? Do you, being a citizen of the state of Georgia, and being an employee of Cobb County and the recipient of public funds for services rendered as such employee, hereby solemnly swear and affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Georgia, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good afternoon to the esteemed members of the judiciary and to all of you. Thank you for being here. First and foremost, I thank God. It is only by His grace, His guidance, and His perfect timing that I stand here today, blessed and highly favored. Thank you, Judge Murphy, for entrusting me with this opportunity to serve the people of Cobb County. I'm honored to join what I truly believe is the finest people's court in the nation. I look forward to learning under your leadership, working alongside the other judges and staff, and continuing our shared habit of dissecting the law and the works. I also look forward to gloating on November 1st. Thank you to the judges of the Superior Court for affirming my appointment. When my parents brought me from Jamaica in the early 80s, they intended to stay for just a short while. My dad was, as I understand, completing a post-seminary fellowship, and my mom, graduate studies in library science. I don't believe that they could have possibly imagined the opportunities that my siblings and I would be blessed to experience. To my parents, your love, patience, and prayers have carried me to this moment. Considering how cheeky of a teenager I was, I'm grateful that you let me live to see this day. To my children, Claire, Morgan, and your big brother, Shane, who could not be here today, everything I do is truly for you. May you dream boldly and pursue your callings with courage. To my nieces, my nephews, my godchildren, thank you for sharing this moment today. To my cousins, Hasina, Nicole, and Alexis, thank you for being my built-in besties and loving on me and my littles always. To my sister friends, especially Krista, Lisa, Haley, and Deanne, who never miss a milestone, thank you for the decades of unconditional love and enthusiastic cheerleading. To my other besties, Stacy, Stephanie, Tina, Danielle, and Rhea, I love and appreciate all of you. To my two bestest friends, my brother David, my sister Tiffany, as well as my sister Latiana, and my brother-in-law Tyrone, who couldn't be here because he's home with my 5 nieces and nephews in Orlando today. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for always standing in my corner. I just don't have the words for how much I love and adore you all and appreciate you all. When I chose the law, I was driven by a deep curiosity and a desire to protect the voiceless, strengthen communities, and pursue fairness. Life took me through nursing, then law, and a long corporate career that continues, 20 years this year. But the call to public service never left my heart. As a proud Howard University School of Law graduate, I carry the words of Charles Hamilton Houston, the charge that states, "A lawyer is either a social engineer or a parasite on society." Those words have always kept my calling to public service alive. So today feels like my most fitting chapter yet, serving this community, protecting public safety, and celebrating life's joyful moments. Tanisha, I want to say a special thank you to you. Your infectious affection for this court, for Judge Murphy, for his leadership, for the judges and staff, is what really planted a seed in my mind. And you, I can honestly say, believed in me and believed in my potential to be a part of this team long before I really believed it was a reality. So thank you for your friendship, thank you for your sisterhood, and thank you for being here today. So today, again, is the most fitting chapter. I have the opportunity to really serve this community in a significant way, protect public safety, and celebrate life's joyful moments. My commitment is simple: to approach every person and every responsibility with wisdom, fairness, and compassion. In closing, one love, go Gators, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
The wisdom is evident in that she saved that Go Gators for after the swearing-in is official. You did not raise a dummy. All right, wonderful. Next, we're going to swear in Judge Yarbrough. And I wanted to say just 2 things about Judge Yarbrough as well. I've gotten to know, when you look at his biography and his career background, it kind of matches what we do here at the court. He's worked in creditor cases. He's worked in landlord-tenant cases. Not so much in criminal, which he'll be learning now, but he knows the heart and soul of this court. He practices in this court across the state on a daily basis. And what I've seen is really 2 things. Number 1, compassion for people. This is a people business. That's when we bring clerks on, we let them know this is not a work from home job. I don't frankly want everybody that comes here coming to my house. It's not a work from home job, it's a people business. And I've had the opportunity, I don't routinely sit on the calendars that Judge Yarbrough handles, but I see him working. I see him in that hallway talking to people in crisis. And guess what? They're not his client. They're the people on the other side of the V, what we call the other side of the V in the case. But he listens to them. He has compassion for them. He has patience. He explains the law. He vigorously represents his client's interest and helps to reach a solution that everybody can live with. And I've seen that job interviews are always when nobody's watching, right? That job interviews are always when nobody's watching. And so I've seen that day after day, Friday after Friday, Tuesday after Tuesday, in these hallways, him working. And number 2 is the same servant's heart that we described before. Same thing, when we had these pop-up clinics, we had one recently, I think it was our most recent one, where we had gotten word in advance that there was somebody that was particularly displeased with the decision of this court, which is not unique. I always tell my wife, people think that a judge makes one side happy and one side mad, but Judge Hill, Judge Brown, in my experience, sometimes both people leave unhappy with what happens here, even though we try our best. And there was one person that was really displeased and said, I'm going to that pop-up clinic and I'm going to give Judge Murphy a piece of my mind. And of course, Chief Deputy Anderson and Sheriff Owens made sure that part didn't happen. But we knew we needed somebody special to step in, somebody who had unquestioned knowledge of the legal area, and then the demeanor to interact with this individual. And that was Chris Yarbrough. and he was able to jump in and triage that situation so that the individual could understand the judge's decision and help work them through that. And so again, just a deep knowledge and a deep care for the people of this community is why he's standing here today as our newest judge. And so I'd like to introduce another excellent jurist of this court, a former president of the Council of Superior Court Judges, a current probate lawyer, and an excellent judge, and my friend, Judge Quinn Casper.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the People's Court. We've talked a little bit about that today, but I'm going to go into it a little bit further. It is an honor and a personal joy for me to stand before you today to witness the swearing in of somebody that I've known for a very long time. I've known Chris for almost 15 years. We met actually when we were both practicing in collection law, and we practiced together at a firm for almost 6 of those years. However, during that time span, we've been more than just colleagues. We've been collaborators, challengers, a lot, sounding boards, trusted confidants, and we've shared a lot of long days, hard cases, and plenty of moments that tested both our endurance, patience, convictions, inside and outside of the courtroom and the office. Through it all, I've come to know a man of deep integrity and unwavering dedication to the law and to justice. I'm going to say a couple more things, but I want to pause here and just let all of you know he does not like being the center of attention. So I'm going to stand in front of him a little bit because he's probably turning red. But we're gonna keep going. He is, I know. Chris is one of the most intelligent and hardworking people I've ever met. He has a razor-sharp mind and a calm, pragmatic approach to even the most complex legal issues. He's quick on his feet, but he's always thoughtful and he always listens. He's logical, fair, level-headed most of the time. And that's all the traits that you'd hope to see somebody have, especially that's going to be sitting in this court with the people of this community, who is who we deal with all day, every day. He's already shown, as Judge Murphy indicated, that he has a heart for service. Not only has he volunteered at the pop-up clinics, but he's actually the person that got me involved with the high school mock trial competitions up here every year, which are always a fun time. Probably 10 years ago, I did my first one, and it was at his urging, and he is consistently volunteering every year at that event, just to show, I guess, the young people of our community and actually across the state what fairness and professionalism look like, even when we're not in a real courtroom setting. His commitment to the community is one that he's doing through access to justice, even though he serves as a landlord attorney most days in this courthouse. It's one of the many reasons I know he will make an outstanding judge. But the thing that I think sets him apart is actually his legal knowledge. Impressive as it is, it's not static. He's constantly learning, growing, and pushing himself to understand new areas of the law, which is exactly what he's going to do with criminal, and he's going to be great. He's not content to rest on what he already knows because he understands that justice evolves and that it takes a committed and curious legal mind to keep up with it. And beyond all of that, he does have a professional demeanor that's truly fit for this bench. He has spent, as Judge Murphy said, years in magistrate courts across the state of Georgia, dealing with everybody that you could ever think of that comes into this court, in every county probably, which does give him a unique perspective of what he's walking into before he comes in these doors. He brings a steady presence into every room, whether it's a courtroom, a conference room, or just having a simple conversation. He listens deeply, considers carefully, and I know he will treat every person that comes in these doors with dignity, which is exactly what this community needs. Chris, I'm so incredibly proud of you, and I'm thrilled to once again be your colleague. I know I speak for many when I say we're lucky to have you on this bench. You're going to make a profound difference, not just in the lives of those that come before you, but in the legacy of justice and service that you'll leave behind. With great pride and excitement, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome the Honorable Christopher Yarbrough.
Okay, raise your right hand. We'll do the version. I'll do all the work. You just say
Perfect.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that you will duly and faithfully perform all of the duties required of you as a magistrate judge of Cobb County? Do you further solemnly swear or affirm that you are not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due this state or any political subdivision or authority thereof? That you are not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state which you are prohibited from holding by the laws of the state of Georgia, and that you are otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia, and that you will support the constitutions of the United States and of this state, and that you have been a resident of this county for the time required by the Constitution and laws of this state. Do you, also being a citizen of the state of Georgia and an employee of Cobb County, and the recipient of public funds for services rendered as such employee, hereby solemnly swear and affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Georgia, so help you God?
I do. As Judge Casper told you, I am not the one that likes to talk about myself. So I'm very used to standing in front of a courtroom and standing in front of a large group of people. I do it all the time. I also teach, and I stand in front of 90 plus students all the time, but it's different when I'm talking about me versus when I'm talking about, well, my client did this or the defendant did that. So bear with me, but I do have a few remarks prepared. First of all, thank you to Judge Casper for that introduction. That was very nice, very much appreciated. Also, of course, I have to thank Judge Murphy for entrusting me with this appointment. The confidence that he has placed in me is not something that I will take lightly, and I will work each day to uphold the trust of the People's Court and the public that we will serve. Thank you to my family for being here and supporting me throughout my legal career. I also want to acknowledge my colleagues. I have a few of them here in the room. Mentors and friends from the legal profession. From the earliest stages of my career, I have been fortunate enough to learn from judges, attorneys, and staff, many of them are also in the room, who have modeled integrity, diligence, and fairness. I've been practicing law now for about between 16 and 17 years. And from the very beginning of my law practice, it involved working in Magistrate Court, and specifically the Cobb County Magistrate Court. I did not imagine 16 years ago that this is where I would be standing today. The role of the Magistrate Judge is a practical one and a profound one. We are called upon to resolve disputes fairly, manage our cases efficiently, and ensure that every individual, no matter their background, resources, or circumstances, has access to justice. It is a role that demands not only legal knowledge, but also patience, humility, and respect for the dignity of those who come before the court. I accept this appointment with a commitment to fairness, impartiality, and service. I will strive to decide matters based solely on the law and the facts, and to treat every party with dignity, and to make sure that everyone is heard. I am honored to begin this chapter of service, and I have pledged to uphold the highest ideals of the People's Court. Thank you to our esteemed Superior Court judges and elected officials for being here, and the great staff of Cobb County Magistrate Court for being here. Thank you. I want to conclude with just a few words of thanks. The first group of folks I want to thank are the group that Judge Ward and Judge Yarbrough are joining today, and that is specifically our judges that serve part-time. I want to give a word about that. The building that you're sitting in now is open to the public 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It is staffed by part-time magistrate judges working in shifts around the clock. 8 to 4, 4 to midnight, midnight to 8. There's always somebody here dispensing justice, especially on the nights and overnights and weekend. The entire criminal justice system of a county of 800,000 people is one judge and one clerk. It's an awesome responsibility. Crime doesn't take a day off. We're here Christmas morning, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving night, when everybody should be enjoying with their family. These folks are taking away from that to serve the public in this very special way. And I have to mention, because my commissioner is here, they do it for a fraction of the hourly rate that they command in private practice. One of the important things, I have the honor in this, it's getting a little better year by year, but it is truly a fraction of the rate that they command in their day job. it's a very, very special role that they have agreed to do, and I very much appreciate them doing it. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention they're joining a team of experts. It is so important that a community's bench, the community's judges, represent the community in a broad way. Diversity is important. And I think what I like to tell community groups, and what you can see, because there's so many of us gathered today, you can physically see diversity. We have different ages and genders and races, but what you can't see is the diversity of expertise. I have the honor that one of my statutory roles is building this team. And when I look at this jury box that they'll be joining, I see former federal prosecutors, I see state prosecutors, state criminal defense attorneys, insurance defense attorneys, plaintiffs' attorneys, creditor rights attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys, family law attorneys, immigration attorneys, not pictured, we should say, not pictured. She's not here.
She's not here.
But anyhow, they're joining this great diverse team that truly reflects our county in all ways possible, because having that diversity of life experience from some of those immutable characteristics, but also career experience, is what builds a strong team for the people of this county. And so I'm just so proud of them. I'd also have to give special thanks to Arlette and Emmy from our office on the second floor. They always do a great job putting these beautiful events together. So thank you both. And then, of course, to Ross Cavett from Cobb Communications. I know both of the judges had family that was not able to be here today. They traveled from Florida and other places, and now this will be recorded, so this special moment in their career can be reflected. And so with that, that is the last you will hear from me. I'm going to turn this podium over to Judge Ward's father, the Reverend Horace Ward, to close us in prayer.
Would you kindly stand, please? Almighty God, righteous judge of all the earth, Genesis chapter 18, verse 25. We thank you for calling your servants, the Honorable Natalie Alicia Ward and Christopher Yarbrough, to this noble office. Grant them a discerning heart like Solomon. The first book of Kings, chapter 3, verse 9. Wisdom from above, pure, peaceable, impartial, and sincere. James chapter 3, verse 17. Keep them steadfast in truth, fair in judgment, and compassionate toward all. Micah chapter 6, verse 8. And may justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Amos chapter 5, verse 24. We commit you. We commend you. We treasure you. We pray God's blessings upon you both in your service, in this, the people's court, to their loved ones. In the name of the God of all, amen.